right, good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome to the Blunt Lab. My name is Al, and here's Marcus with Poppin' Brother.
Not too much, bro. How you doing, man?
Chilling like a villain, man. That is a hot track. Where'd you get that from?
That is by a producer named NISH. You can find it on YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Music, wherever you get your music. It's Trap Sex by NISH. That's the song.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Does he just do music? Does he rap, sing?
I still have to find out more info, but I think it's just like mostly producing, just like by what I've
That's what's up.
researched about him and what I've seen so far. But yeah, he's got a lot of good music.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's a super producer, as I like to say. So yeah, he's got a lot of good songs.
Okay. We'll be talking to him
Yes,
soon, I
sir.
hope.
Yes, sir. Once we get our feet wet a little bit, get more established, like he's
Dive
very okay with coming on. And
because as of right now, if I'm not mistaken, I think we have 2 listeners
Nice.
so far. So, he can promote
hey,
to
you
those
know
2
what?
folks.
Listen, that's 2 more than 0. That's how I look at it.
But hey, man, tonight's episode, we're probably just going to, cover the playoffs?
Yeah, we're on the eve of Super Wild Card Weekend. And
Hell yes.
our Giants are playing in the playoffs for the first time in 6 years, which is pretty cool. I mean, we got a tough task up ahead, Minnesota beat us earlier this season, but it took a 61-yard field goal to do it. I don't know, man. I feel good about it. I feel good about it.
And yet the game following that, my man couldn't hit it. Was it a 25-yarder or 30-yarder?
But as a Giants fan, we've had so many occurrences losing last-second field goals from like record lengths. So, I mean, I feel like the offense did enough, the defense did enough, but there's no moral victories.
We were missing a lot of people too.
Players, but there's no moral victories. But the fact that game went the way it did, I feel good about it. Like, I feel good about going back there. And
wow, I think we should whoop that ass.
And as good as Justin Jefferson is, like, I feel like he's one of the 3 best receivers in the league. There is somewhat of a
Landon was Landon in the game. Was Landon playing the last game?
I think he was. I know McKinney wasn't, and Adoree Jackson wasn't. But I mean, considering how the last few games have gone for Minnesota, I think there's kind of a blueprint out on Jefferson. I mean, it's kind of like any good receiver, though. You just put enough coverage on him, make the rest of the guys beat you. I'm not saying that those guys aren't capable. I'm just saying that I know Minnesota's game plan is to get him the ball because he's explosive. But Adoree Jackson was not playing that game. Neither was Xavier McKinney.
Okay.
I'm like, if you put your 2 best secondary players on him, I don't know. And a lot of those plays he made.
Who else is Minnesota? They have Cook,
They have
right?
Dalvin Cook. They have Adam Thielen. That's what I'm saying. They've got T.J. Hockenson. They've got good players.
Oh.
But it feels like when you can get Justin Jefferson out of the game, you see how Green Bay did him. Like, Green Bay kind of beat on him, You just got to...
And all you got to do is really just rattle up Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. And it's a primetime game. Kirk Cousins, primetime, like, I don't know. I'm not going to say that he can't win.
He's got Romo. He's got Romo syndrome in prime time.
Romo's a great commentator, though. I'll give Romo that. He's a great commentator.
Oh, he is phenomenal. Because, I mean, if you've noticed, Troy Aikman has had to step up his game since Tony Romo's come to the picture. But Tony Romo's still better, in my opinion. I still like, I like Aikman, don't get me wrong. But Romo breaks everything down. Yeah, he does. For dummies like me who don't know how to read X's and O's.
And you know what, man? Romo wasn't a bad quarterback. It's just that he was the Cowboy quarterback. That's all.
He wasn't.
Yeah. That's the only knock on him.
I like Romo. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a good player. I mean, he has some boneheaded plays, but I mean, like every player is gonna have them, and like whatever, it happens.
I don't think it's as boneheaded as Mark
Ooh,
Sanchez.
Sanchez.
I don't think anything is worse than the butt fumble.
Listen, he just ran into a guy, man. He didn't want to fumble off that man's butt, but oh,
Come on, man. That's a big dude in front of you. How do you bump into him?
bro, those the Jets, man. That's what they do. It's like,
These guys know what play they're
yeah,
running. Which means you know where that guy's going to be.
yes.
Why are you running into him?
Listen, I mean,
And then how are you not holding on to
I
the ball?
understand what you're saying, but I'm saying in the heat of the moment, hey man, hey man,
I think
he
Mark
was rattled, man.
Sanchez, he might have wanted to grab his
He's a little
ass, as
rattled.
far as I'm concerned.
Sanchez was rattled at that point. Like, New York, man, and you ain't winning. Like, they killing it, bro. Like, hey, man, it happens. Sanchez wasn't even a bad.
Whatever happened to
He's,
Sanchez?
I think he does.
I mean, he was all right for
Yeah,
2 years.
He went to back-to-back conference championships, so. Right.
Coaching and defense, too.
Yeah, and a running game. I'm saying that helps everybody. That helps every quarterback, I think.
It was Sanchez's to fuck up, basically.
Pretty much.
Which he did.
I mean, I think he just lost to better teams, but I mean, potato, I got you. But I don't know, man. As far as the playoff game, like I feel like we're ahead of schedule, so it's just kind of house money. Whatever we do, we do. I feel like we can win this game, honestly, in my biased opinion. We have a full defense for the first time this season. Like all of our day one starters will be there. Like, I don't know.
What seed are we?
6th. So we win
the 6th seed. When we won the Super Bowl, weren't we the 6th seed?
Anytime we won the Super Bowl, it's through a wild card. The last couple Super Bowls, yeah, they're wild cards.
Could history repeat itself?
Listen, Daniel Jones doesn't turn the ball over. Daniel Jones ain't bad, man. He's not bad.
Let's say hypothetically we do make it. I would want to see, but don't want to see at the same time. Just because are the Chiefs. You want to play the best and beat the best so you can brag. You don't want to play bums. Yeah. So in that aspect, I would want to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl if we made it. That's if we.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Chiefs or the Bengals or Buffalo.
Ooh,
Bengals might give us that work though. The Bengals, well, Kansas.
Yeah, the Bengals.
Kansas City might give us the work too, though. To be honest.
But see, Kansas City would have to beat us the way they've been beating everybody, and let's just spread the ball to everybody.
That's true. We'd have to get to Mahomes.
With
Dexter Lawrence has to get to him. If that is a game, we have to get to him.
And Mahomes just works magic, man. The niggas.
He's special. Mahomes, he's the best. He's definitely the best.
The guy's a wizard back there, man. And now, with Joe B, if we can get to him, that would basically null and void Jamar Chase and Hicks.
Yeah.
But if we can't get to him, I don't think we can cover those dudes.
Well,
I'm just saying that personally.
I mean,
especially Chase.
I think there's a defense for it.
I mean, if we bottle one up,
there's a defense. I'm gonna tell you the defense for it. Pressure. Their offensive line is terrible. Wink Martindale like to dial it up, so I'm like, the only way to really beat Cincinnati is to get at Joe Burrow. Like, you got to get him to the ground. You got to pressure. Got to make him make quick decisions. So,
let me see. We have Leonard. You said, is Leonard playing?
Yes, Leonard's playing.
Okay, so Leonard's playing. We have Kayvon playing.
Aziz Ojulari is playing. Yeah, everybody will be there.
I mean, if all those guys are healthy, Again, this is if we were to make it that far. I could see us putting pressure.
I can see it.
But as of right now, we need to spank Kirk Cousins. That's who we need to
I'm
put
not gonna go
pressure on.
crazy.
That's
I'm
who we
not
need
gonna
to
go
beat
crazy
up.
and be like, "Oh, we're gonna destroy him." Like, I think we'll win.
I say we win by 3.
I say we win like 28-24. Yeah.
Cutting it close.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. You putting any bets?
No. No. No, I don't want to play. I don't want to bet.
If because of my history, if I was going to place a bet, I'm betting on Minnesota.
That's crazy, man.
In hopes that I lose.
I see what you're doing there. I got you.
But the wife won't let me put the title of the vehicle up for a bet. So
that might be a worthy bet, though. You might win like 3 times as much. I don't know.
Especially if they beat us. I'd be pissed if they beat us.
I mean, they're the favorite, though, so I don't know what the odds are, like, as far as, like, placing a bet on them. I don't know.
I don't think we've ever been favored in our Super Bowl runs either.
I think the second one when we played Atlanta, we were favored, but that's really about it.
Who was on that Atlanta team?
I'm pretty sure Matt Ryan was there for sure, and like Julio.
Oh, come on. Of course we're going to be favored against Matt Ryan.
I'm just saying.
You know what? I should have listened to you when you first said it. Because, I actually gave Matt Ryan a lot more credit before. But watching him now, I'm like, man.
He's just a quarterback, man.
I think Tony Gonzalez made him look
he's just a quarterback. Like Matt Ryan, he's always had Julio Jones or Tony Gonzalez or both. He's just like, and it's not even nothing against him. Like, every quarterback's not going to be Brady or Mahomes.
Dude, I'm going to go full Al Michaels. I think he's a bum.
I don't want to call that man a bum. I'm just saying, like, every quarterback can't be every guy can't be the top tier, Like, there's got to be tiers, so he's average.
And you remember, I argued with you about this dude. Like, nah, man, this. But then when you really look at it, he's a bum.
Well,
who did Al Michaels? What team did he call bums?
I think it was the Cowboys. I feel like it was the Cowboys offensive line. I feel like it was.
It was because why was I thinking it was the Rams?
Maybe it was. I know it was like offensive linemen. I know it was like the offensive line that was out there. He called them a group of bums, and I was like, wow. I can't believe.
I remember hearing that live. And he still had a job afterwards.
Some people like that, man. They like when Al Michaels talks and shit. They like it, man.
Now, speaking of that, you see, I like it when Al Michaels talks some shit. Because Al Michaels knows what he's talking about. But when you speak of someone like Skip, I should have been aborted Bayless, that scumbag deserves a straight kick to the sack. More than once. Now, Shannon Sharp, I can't say how another man should have handled the situation because, none of us were there or what have you. I just know, me personally, who has nothing, I wish a could like Skip Bayless would say some shit like that to me in my face like that. That microphone would have firmly been shoved up his ass, girl with the dragon tattoo style.
There's no doubt about it.
After saying some shit like that.
There's no doubt about it. What he said was extremely disrespectful. Extremely
disrespectful beyond belief. And like, dude,
you don't talk to a Hall of Famer like that.
What is he?
You don't talk to the Hall of Famer like that.
What have you done compared to Shannon that you get to talk to him like that? And dude, Shannon is a way bigger man than me, both physically and everywhere else, for handling the situation the way he did. Couldn't have been me. Because what followed after that is up. In today's news, light-skinned Negro goes to jail for shoving a microphone up somebody's anus.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
That's basically how that would have ended.
That's fair enough, man.
Because, man, like just listening to that clip, I'm like, my God, I wish I could just reach through the screen and choke him.
It was.
And you see Shannon. If you see it, if you look in his eyes, he wants to obliterate.
I can't remember who it was, but they were like, he would never say that to him in the street. I think it was like D.L. Hughley. Like, he would never speak to Shannon Sharp like that in the street. But sitting in like a studio, you feel like you could talk to him.
Skip knew his white ass was safe
you
on
could talk
camera.
to him that way. Like, and not even just like off some football stuff, just like that's just disrespectful. Like, how you just gonna discredit everything this dude done in his career? Like, that's crazy.
And when you're comparing him to Tom Brady, these two men play two different positions. It's not even the same.
There's nothing similar. Like, I have a hard time comparing Shannon to like Kelsey and Gronk and guys like that, because that era was different. Like, it's just different eras. They play the same position.
Yes.
But it's like you don't need to attack Shannon because you didn't like what he was saying about how Brady's been playing. Brady hasn't been playing great this season. He's still the GOAT, but he hasn't been playing great this season. And that's okay. But you didn't have to like go at him like I don't know, like you didn't have to attack him.
He straight up said, Tom is a better man and better player than you ever will be. Serious?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he discredited everything he did.
Like, that really came out his mouth. But yet, hey, he makes way more money than both of us do. We know.
It's true.
All I know is how to put hands on that.
I mean, a lot of people be questioning, like, why Skip got a platform. Like, hey, listen, I'm on the thing saying that I think Shannon should have his own. I mean, he's got his own podcast. At Club Shay Shay, love that. But he should have a different show. I'd like to see him on ESPN. I'd like to see him and Max Kellerman together. Like, them have a show.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be magic.
See, Max Kellerman knows what he's talking about. I don't mind when Max Kellerman talks some shit. You see, Stephen A. Smith is a light-skinned Skip Bayless, in my opinion, too. I'm just going to leave that at that. Say what you want about that motherfucker. I can't stand him either. He acts like he's all hardcore. He's all street, all like, nigga, shut the fuck up. Like, just shut the fuck up. I don't even understand how he's getting paid or how he even has a fucking platform. Just shut up. Max Kellerman, on the other hand, that's the dude right there. Him and Shannon.
As far as Stephen A., like, hey, listen, I'm not like a major fan either. He's all right, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of him or Skip, but hey, they get paid the big bucks. I like the people that they work with though. Like when
yes,
Ryan Clark is on First Take or something, or like Marcus Spears, when those guys are on there, or like Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin is fantastic. He's gold.
Oh, yes,
he is gold. But like. Or like Shannon Sharp, or when they have guests on. But as far as like Skip, nah, I'm cool on it. And Stephen A., I'm cool on that.
Shannon and Michael don't have a podcast? They don't do anything together?
No. Shannon's got his podcast.
You know what? I think I told you this before. I'd love to hear Shannon and Sterling on the podcast.
He should have Sterling on his podcast. Because he's had
all these accolades.
Had a couple people on there. Like, he had like Deion Sanders on there. He had Steve Smith on there. Like, he's had like
Steve Smith, the one that killed us?
Carolina Steve Smith, yeah. Oh no, Carolina Steve Smith. No, the GOAT, the great Steve Smith, not our Steve Smith. There.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, actually, the one I was thinking that killed us was Jackson.
Oh yeah, he's still in the league, man. He's on Baltimore right now. He's on Baltimore squad. That's crazy.
Is he competing at a high level, or is he just on the team?
I feel like he's just on the team, but I mean, they let him go out there and run some routes, but Baltimore don't like to throw the ball, so. Hey.
So, if I'm not mistaken, I believe we are 5th on the list for possibly getting DeAndre Hopkins.
Really?
I think the first is Kansas City. That would be just fucking unfair if that happened. Just really unfair. And I'm wondering what Kansas City would give up to bring
Nothing.
D-Hop in.
They would probably give him like a third rounder or something. Yeah, Arizona don't got they're not run very well. So like the stuff that they do, I could see them giving up D-Hop and getting like a third round pick back. But crazy
Yeah, I think they're completely blowing up I think they're blowing up the team completely.
They have to. They just fired their coach. The GM stepped down. Kyler Murray's gonna be hurt most of next year. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
he tore his knee up in like November,
I
I
did,
think, or December. Like, he's gonna miss half the season, probably, if not more. And there's
oh,
no
wow.
telling if he's even gonna be the same player because his game is based so much on athleticism. Like, I don't know, man. I
Hmm.
mean, Arizona's got some talent out there with JJ Watt's retiring. DeAndre Hopkins is probably leaving.
Oh,
Like, ah, yeah. And they're
they're not
no,
going to
and
have
they're in a
anything.
division with the Rams who suck this year, but they'll be back. San Francisco is not going nowhere. And Seattle seems to be on their come up
I
too.
am.
And they got the third pick
Look how well Seattle did
without
without
Russ. Yeah, they
Russell
did
Wilson.
better without Russell Wilson. That's crazy.
And look how poorly Russ did in Denver. But then again, when you're watching these games, those guys aren't blocking for
That's
Russ
some Willie
in no way,
Beeman
shape, or
shit,
form.
man. That's some Willie Beeman shit. You
Yeah.
give him
And I'm
something.
wondering what's happening
They don't like Russ, bro. That's what
because you see
Shannon
footage.
Sharp was saying. Like,
You got to wonder why.
I think it's his persona, man. He don't seem like a real person. Like he feels like a robot or something. Like that's not like real life, the stuff that he be saying. And like that Broncos country. That's right. Like that shit. Like that's crazy, man. Like who talks like that?
Oh,
Yeah, like, bro,
really?
you watch his interviews, man. It's like it's so brand. Like everything is brand with him. And he's like married to Sierra and like everything they do is I don't know, man. It just don't feel real. And I feel like dudes is just like, they're not with it. And they're not winning. And they
Hmm.
paid this dude like $250 million, man.
A
And he
lot of
don't look
money.
good.
And it's not
Like he
that
don't look,
he's got
yes,
talent
he
out there.
does. But I feel like Pete Carroll and them knew something because to trade your all pro quarterback, I don't care how many draft picks they offer me. You trade,
And he's won him a
yeah,
Super Bowl,
been
hasn't
to
he?
2, won 1. To
Yeah.
trade your quarterback of 9, 10 years that won all these games, you must know something that like we might be all right without him. Like he wasn't the team, because he had talent out there.
And dude, Geno Smith stepped in and did
Yeah,
great.
because he had talent out there too.
Because I thought Geno was finished.
I did too. I forgot he was even in the league until last year, and he stepped in for us. But that's the thing too, is like I feel like Pete Carroll was like shielding Russ from like a lot of stuff, like his coaching style and like what he does. I feel like it was shielding him because look at him in Denver. This is unbelievable to some people. I never thought that Russ was that good. I think Russ is like kind of like Matt Ryan. Like he's okay, I guess. He's cool. He's not a bad player. You can win with him, but he ain't like Dan Marino or like, Montana or Brady or Mahomes or Josh Allen.
I thought he looked great the first couple of years he was in.
I was like, he's putting up numbers. He's doing good, but that team was stacked though. That defense was fantastic, giving you short field. You had beast mode in the back.
You had Marshawn Lynch.
You had decent receivers. Always, he's always had decent receivers. If not like the best ones, they've always been good. Like they've given him a lot of infrastructure to like succeed. So you get to Denver where you're the guy. Like that team in Denver is young and they're good and they'll be good, but they're looking at you to like take them to the next level. And you took them a level below where they were already. And that's crazy.
I think more than a level below.
And what's worse, they don't even have that pick. It was like the third pick in the draft, bro. Like Seattle is in the playoffs and they're in the top 5 pick. That's crazy.
Damn.
That's crazy.
You don't think his finger injury has anything to do with his play, do you?
I mean, that's what he'll say. That's what that's what they like to say. But I'm not giving him that excuse because it's like, the old saying, if you out there, you hurt and you out there, you must be all right. If you injured, don't play. If you hurt, play. So Aaron Rodgers had like a broken finger all year, I mean, he looked terrible too, so maybe it was something to do with the finger.
Until he finally decided to start throwing to what's that young fella's name?
Yeah, Christian Watson. He's gonna be good, man. He's gonna be really good.
Yeah, dude. That first breakout game of his, I immediately snatched his ass up in fantasy. Granted, I think I only started him like 2 or 3 times after that, but for the most part, the kid was putting up good numbers.
Yeah.
And you got to wonder why Aaron Rodgers didn't start just to see what this kid had in the beginning. And it might have started, it might have ended up.
That first game, he threw him that deep ball and like he was wide open and he dropped it. And Aaron Rodgers, he looked pissed. And like after that, like he didn't really throw him the ball for a while. Or when he did, he was dropping them. Like, I mean, he's a rookie. He's a rookie, People gonna drop the ball, man. Like, nobody has 100% catch rate. So it happens.
That's true. That's true.
But he's athletic and he's
TL.
He's athletic. He's got, he's got good speed, good quickness. His hands have gotten better. So yeah. I can see.
So you were saying you're thinking the Giants game is going to end 28-24.
That's my prediction. Big blue. 28-24. Big game from Saquon. Big game from Daniel Jones' legs. I feel like he'll get a couple passes off, but I think our formula is simple. Run that rock. Defend. Field position. And we got it. And they can be explosive, so we have to make sure we don't let them. We can't let them get out ahead of us. Like, they get up 14-0, like we're in trouble type stuff, Like, we can't let that kind of thing happen.
Yeah, I don't think our offense is built to come back from that.
But if
I can only hope it doesn't end
that way. If it goes like the last game went, where they got up ahead of us, we came back in that fourth. But you think about all the miscues in the fourth quarter, like that's not like indicative of what we are and what we've done this season. So I don't know. I feel really good about it though. I think we're gonna win 28-24. That's my prediction.
Well, I hope so.
That's my.
I hope
that's
so.
my, I guess, quote unquote upset.
You say you're not watching the game, though,
I'm
right?
not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch. I will keep tabs on it.
I'm watching every moment.
I will keep tabs on it like I normally do. I'll do my update, and
I'll keep you posted.
Yeah,
I'll keep you posted.
I just don't want to. Yeah, it's too much for my heart to take. Get emotional about this thing. It's been too long, man.
That's what natural medication is for.
That's true.
Brother.
We haven't been relevant in a long time. So.
Oh man, I'm just glad we're here. I don't want us to lose, but even if we do, again,
hey man,
we weren't supposed to be here.
Yeah, we're ahead of schedule.
Yeah,
we're ahead of schedule.
So this just tells me that next year,
they better not fuck around. We have expectations for sure.
Oh yes, oh yes. So yeah, we'll definitely speak on that after the game.
Yes. Hopefully it'll be a happy conversation.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. Go
yes,
Giants.
Sir. Yes, sir.
So the next game we got going on is Tampa, right?
Yeah, that's the Monday night game, Tampa, Dallas. What you got?
You just want to run down some predictions real quick?
Yeah, that's cool. I got Dallas beating Tampa, man. I think Dallas is gonna do it. I hate to go against Brady. He's the GOAT, but it just doesn't feel like this is the year for that, man. It just doesn't feel like it.
To briefly touch on it, I think Giselle was cheating, broke Tom's heart, caused him to have a terrible year. Everybody thinks it's it's cause he didn't retire, blah blah blah. Look, she knew he wasn't gonna retire because she knew what he was trying to do with the Miami thing and that scandal or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So she knew he was never really gonna leave
That's true.
football. So that's not the issue. Okay. I personally think all that Brazilian jiu-jitsu stuff with her
Mm-hmm.
trainer got up close and personal. And there you go.
It took me a second to piece together what you were saying, but I got it. Okay.
So here you are fucking around while Tom is out there making, now granted, she's worth way more money than him. But I mean, hey, listen. If you and Mr. BJJ wanted to, do your thing, let Tom go. Why you have to have him find out this way?
I don't know, man.
Had this nigga throughout the beginning of the year. But
it did seem
now,
like really quick, like after their divorce, that she was like spotted with that guy. So I don't know.
And you know exactly what that means.
Probably what she was doing this whole time. But I mean, I digress. I still think Dallas is gonna beat him, though. I mean, Brady. I think he's the greatest. I think he's the greatest, but it's hard for me to.
I do as well. I've been cheated on enough to know how a man reacts after being cheated.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, with that being said.
Now, this is allegedly. He'll never admit to it. I'm just saying.
Like,
I know
that being said, like, I don't know, man. If I'll say this, if Tampa was to win, watch out. Watch out. Brady might be going back.
I got Tampa winning, man.
Brady might be going back to the Super Bowl.
Brady's like, you know what? Brady's already said in his mind, he's like, I'm about to win the Super Bowl again, break another record. Now, look. If the road to the Super Bowl goes through us, he's not going.
No.
If we make it through and he has to face us to get to the Super Bowl, unfortunately, Tom, I'm sorry you got cheated on, but hey, But what was that line in that movie? Sad, but too bad.
He's never lost to Dallas in his career. He's 7-0 against Dallas in his career. As a Buck, a Patriot, as everything. As a Patriot. He's never lost to Dallas in his entire career.
Really?
So
that's interesting.
Hey, something's got to give, man. At some point,
Well,
no.
You want to make a bet?
I don't want to do that. I definitely would. I definitely wouldn't bet on Dallas. Like, come on. I would say Dallas should do this. Like, they should win it. But
as a Giant fan, if you had bet on Dallas, you deserve to get what's the term I'm looking for?
Rick James? 5 fingers.
Your leg.
5 fingers to the face. But
I was just thinking about a leg.
That's pretty bad too. I don't need that.
Yeah. You shouldn't be able to walk for a little bit.
That's why I wouldn't do it. Yeah, especially that's why I would never do it. Okay.
If you're a Cowboy fan, I am not sorry for you. You made that choice to be dumb. So
that's
that.
That is fair. So you got Brady beating him, huh? Thank you.
Yeah, I got Brady spanking that ass. Who's next?
We got Seattle and San Francisco on Saturday.
Ooh. You said you were calling an upset.
I think San Francisco is gonna win convincingly. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
exactly. So that's not.
Hey, Seattle did good this year. Good for them. San Francisco looked different, man. Their defense is fantastic, and they've already beaten Seattle twice this year, convincingly.
I see that San Francisco game going down the same way the Georgia and TCU game went down.
I hope for Seattle's sake that's not what happens.
I said it, Seattle. What you gonna do?
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Okay, the other Saturday game.
That was embarrassing.
That was pretty bad. That was The other Saturday game is Los Angeles and Jacksonville. Now this is the upset I'm calling. Even though I don't know if it's really an upset. I feel like Jacksonville is going to beat Los Angeles. After having the #1 pick last season, come in, win your division, beat a pretty decent team in LA. Like I don't know, man. I'm calling it. I think Jacksonville's gonna win.
I think it's been completely awesome for Trevor Lawrence that who was that coach that couldn't keep his hands off limited the
Urban
ball?
Meyer.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as Meyer left, I think that was the best thing to ever happen to Trevor Lawrence. Because you see the change in his game from last year to
Yes.
this year. Travis Etienne, I think, is a
Yes.
monster.
Christian Kirk's been good.
Like until I've seen clips of him this
Hmm.
year, I've used him in the
Yeah.
game on Madden, and he's always been a beast for me
Hmm.
in the game. But seeing the year he's had this year, and Travis, what's not Travis?
Hmm.
Who's that? Who's that dude that you said you wouldn't mind coming back to
Oh,
the
Evan
Giants?
Ingram. Uh,
Evan Ingram.
your hatred for
So we're actually
your
getting to see
hatred for
Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram is it's you gotta let it go, man. It's bad for the soul. It's bad for your soul to hold that.
Look, I don't hate Evan Ingram. What I couldn't stand is that he could not stay healthy. That's the same beef I have with Sterling Shepard. He can't stay healthy. Oh, he's supposed to be this. He's supposed to be that. Well, dude, how did you get to be all that and you
He
can't
stayed
stay
healthy
healthy?
this season with Jacksonville, but
Well, yeah, I
yeah.
mean, he's proved that this year. We're actually getting to see what Evan Ingram can do. Now, to unless he's going to play alongside
Hmm.
Bellinger, he can stay his ass in
True.
Jacksonville. You know,
Money.
I'm not going to lie. I would love to see the Giants sign Terrell Owens before they sign Evan Ingram
Listen,
this year, just to
I would
finish
I
everything
wouldn't
up.
mind signing T.O. either, man. I mean, I know it's not gonna happen, but that would be cool. I'm with it.
Dude, I want him to come in at 50 to break records.
He can do it, man.
I think he can still do it.
He looks like he can still do it, man. He's in great shape. He's running fast.
Because some of these corners, what are they, like 5 feet?
Now a lot of them are bigger, but he's still savvy, man. And the bigger guys aren't gonna be as fast as him. So I mean, I don't know. I can
Very
see
true.
Theo.
Were there any more
Um,
games? Were there any more games this weekend?
uh, Buffalo and Miami and Baltimore and
There it is,
Cincinnati.
right there. That is my upset that I'm calling. I got Miami.
Whoa, wait a minute. What are you saying right now? Hey, are you being serious?
Yep.
You really picking?
I got.
You're really picking Miami with no Tua to beat
Yeah.
Buffalo? Hey, you know what?
Yeah. Well, hold up. I heard Tua was
Nah,
playing.
man, they're not gonna let Tua play. He's already not. Nah,
I still got Miami. I think, what's his
yeah,
name?
because
Skyler?
Teddy Two Gloves can't play because he's still hurt. Yeah, Tua, he's not gonna play, man. But
I still
I
got
like
Miami.
the courage of your conviction there. I like it. That's cool because I feel like Miami's gonna lose by like 30 points, but I respect that. I
Oh,
respect where you're coming from.
you're trying to say Miami's going to mimic TCU's
Something
performance?
close.
Huh. I almost want to make a bet with you, buddy.
Nah, I don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. I feel like it's
Dude,
gonna
I'm
be
telling you, Miami's going to shock the
listen.
world.
Hey, they play them tough, man. They're division foes. They might be able to pull it off.
Was that the last game? Was that the last game for the
No, there's
weekend?
Baltimore and Cincinnati. I feel like that one's gonna be as it's been all season. Cincinnati's gonna win. Touchdown, 10 points, something like that.
Is
I don't
Lamar
think
playing?
so, and rightfully so. He shouldn't play. Like, I haven't paid him. If I was Lamar, I wouldn't play. He has no.
Is that what's going
No,
down,
he
or is
is
he
hurt.
hurt?
But you know how they play
Oh,
that
okay.
whole like, oh, if you're hurt, you can come out there. Nah, his knee's been hurt. He's been out for a while. Like, it's like sprained PCL or something like that. But he's been out for like,
All right, so
like
I
he's
got
been out for
Cincy in
weeks.
that
So
game.
I understand. Like, and he'd be rusty. Like, why would you even want him to come out for a game that you probably ain't gonna win anyway? Like when he
Who's starting in his place
Tyler
again?
Huntley. he's not looked as good as he started out last year. But I mean, honestly, even if Lamar was there, I'm like, I don't think this Baltimore team is that good. He doesn't have weapons, and their defense is vulnerable. And Cincinnati has beaten them twice.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was like, even if Cincinnati was to,
Hmm.
I mean, even if Baltimore was to like have Lamar out there, right? I don't know if they can score with Cincinnati consistently. So, yeah, I got Cincinnati winners.
Yeah, I got Cincinnati in
Yeah,
that game as
winning
well.
convincingly. But that's all.
But I think I'm just going to call it outright right now, man. I think it's going to be the New York
Mm-hmm.
Giants and the Kansas City Chiefs in the
Oh,
Super Bowl.
that would be a pretty good Super Bowl.
Oh, yes.
I want to reserve my Super Bowl pick until after a wild card weekend. I gotta win a.
I mean, it could be the marijuana talking
It
right
could
now.
be, but
But for
listen,
now, I'm going to
hey,
just
you're
start
in the
off.
dance. You got just as good a chance as anybody else. If you're one of the 14 that makes it, you got just as good a chance as anybody.
On any given
Wild cards
Sunday,
win Super
homie.
Bowls every couple years. We've done it a few times, so you know.
Pittsburgh was a wild card when they won the Super Bowl
I
too,
think
right?
so. Yes, yeah. I know they weren't when they lost the Super Bowl to Green Bay. I think they were like the top seed in AFC or the second or something like that. But yeah, when they won that one, well, Big Ben won two, right? One of his wins was a wild card, yeah.
When did
Green Bay's was a wild card when they won.
Ben start the assault on those women in the bathrooms with Ben? Did that happen before or after the Super
It
Bowls
had to be
that he's
after,
won?
or
Mm.
maybe in the middle of the two, because they weren't like back to back, so it might have been like in the middle of them. Yeah, I mean, he got suspended and stuff like that, but hey, man, that's what we were saying earlier. Like,
Yeah.
talent
See,
trumps everything, bro. Like, you got, if you're talented, like, you got a checkered past.
they did it with
Yeah,
Deshaun Watson.
you know?
And I mean, before Greg Hardy left the league, they allowed him to play ball. I mean, Kareem Hunt was
Yeah,
still playing ball after what he
yeah.
did.
Oh,
Who
Ray
was the one
Rice,
that
they buried him. They made an example out of Ray Rice. He never got to play again. That's crazy. Because look
ever,
at some of the
ever?
guys.
And he
Yeah.
married the
Look
woman.
at some of the guys in the league, man. Like, I think it was like Leonard Little, like killed a guy, like drunk driving. Jonte Stallworth, drunk
Who was?
driving.
There we go. That's the guy I was thinking of.
Still
Yep.
played in the league afterwards. Ray Lewis was, you know, whatchamacallit, had a murder trial. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, man. Talent. You talented. We'll figure
And found
yeah.
God right after.
You talented. We'll figure out the press part of it, you know. We'll do. They'll bury that.
Look what Aaron Hernandez got to get away with all
Aaron
throughout
Hernandez got a
college.
few bodies.
Made it through the NFL.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Have you watched that special?
On Netflix? No, I haven't. I have it on my list though. I haven't watched it yet. I want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. That way we can
Okay.
revisit this. Have you watched the Casey Anthony?
No, I haven't.
All right, was that the last football game we
Which
discussed?
one? Yes. No,
Was there
that
any
was
more
it.
football games?
Cincinnati, Baltimore. Yeah,
That's
we
it.
did our picks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. You haven't seen
Is
the
that on
Casey Anthony
Netflix
one?
as well?
Nah, the Casey Anthony one's on Peacock.
Oh, that is right. No, I haven't watched it, but I know what you're talking about. Yes. Is it good?
Man, let me tell you, bro. She more or less is trying to.
Is she like OJ in that thing?
I don't know if she's trying to. I don't know if she's trying to point the
Mm-hmm.
finger at her dad, but like it's just revisiting what Baez had mentioned at the very beginning of the trial, how George raped her, and possibly was maybe. I hope it's not true, molesting the 2-year-old.
I'm not gonna put that past him. Why not? People are sick, man. That'd be the people you never would think would do some sick shit like that. But on the other hand,
Because of course,
I don't know, man.
if you believe what Casey's saying, Casey says that, and she says that her dad would come into her room and do things to her. She would have to make pretend that everything's all right because, she knew her mom wouldn't believe her. But what I'm getting is they're trying to point at that maybe Kaylee drowned and the dad was trying to cover it up.
But he was like a police officer. Like, why would you cover something like that up, especially if it was in an accident? That's just crazy.
And he testified against her on like 4 or 5 different occasions.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna say this: that family.
Man. I have a tendency to think people are innocent until proven guilty. So I don't know. I don't know who did it.
Not me.
The only one that I say is guilty for sure is
OJ.
Nah, man. OJ did not do that. Physically, OJ did not physically do that. Was OJ a part of that? Of course he was.
Hey, look, I think OJ.
And of course, OJ has something to do with it.
I think OJ was OJ was there, man. His prints was there, dude.
He's still living at home.
Hey, look, the only reason why the physical evidence got tossed out is because that racist Mark
the physical
Furman.
evidence got tossed out because them dudes was over there touching shit without gloves and like fangirling because they're like, oh, this is OJ house. Oh my God, all the blood. Oh, bro, they were walking in the blood. All that blood.
Jose, I was good. I said Jose. OJ's DNA.
He used to live in that home, man. That was his woman.
But I mean, at the crime scene, his DNA was all. It's like he literally rubbed his butthole everywhere and says,
"This is what I know." That as a law-abiding citizen, I can't agree with what you're saying because none of that info or none of.
If it doesn't fit, I must
because
quit.
none of that evidence made it into the trial because the more. So
but look, we
know that evidence don't exist to me because y'all tampered with it.
Not
y'all could have. Bro, they said they were planting gloves. They said they were planting stuff at the crime scene. You had a racist police officer running the show.
Agreed.
You had this famous dude
but hey, look,
that didn't want to be black. Like, bro, there's a lot to it, man. And you got to remember.
He's like, I'm not black.
And they
I'm
had
OJ.
like a bunch of calls to that house before of like domestic abuse and nothing ever got done about it. Like, they look terrible, bro. They look bad. The police department looked terrible.
OJ was known. It was where was it? I think they said Nicole was at a restaurant eating. OJ walked in, drunk as hell, and literally told her that you belong to me. That's forever. Now, again, I say he did it. With that being said, I don't mind that he got off considering what the system has done to us, especially those who have been innocent and wrongfully, I mean, dude, I don't even have to go into what they've done to us and we didn't do anything. I'll just say one name, Emmett Till. That's just one name, and there are many, many more. So OJ getting off, I mean, that's just one dude. That's just one brother getting off. So that's the reason why black folks were happy he got off. After what they've done, yeah. As far as they were concerned, it was just another white girl he killed. How many brothers have they killed? How many sisters have they killed?
I will say, though, OJ did stuff that guilty people do leading up to the trial. But with that being said, I still...
Because he's guilty.
The one person I say for sure when I watched the trial and the documentary and the show, have you seen The Staircase? You know what I'm talking about? That dude?
The Staircase? No.
I can't remember the guy's name. Is like Richardson Peterson, something Peterson. Bro, watch. I only.
Was that the Florida case?
I don't know if it was in Florida. I know that he.
Well, I'll check it out.
It was in North Carolina. It was in North Carolina. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay.
Like where his wife, they found his wife at the bottom of the staircase, like and he said that she fell down the stairs with the amount of
Jesus.
blood and the way everything looked like, bro. She must have been like throwing herself down the
Ooh.
stairs, like up and down the stairs a few times. Like it looked crazy, bro. The crime scene looked crazy. But this is the trip though. He was a closeted homosexual, which
Mm.
I don't know, people assume that she found out about and was the reason that, he'd have a motive to do this. He was I don't want to say like he was a witness to another death, similar fashion with a lady that he used to, his neighbor in another country, like in France or something, where she fell down some stairs, and died. Same fashion that his wife did. So like, I don't know. And just like I watched the documentary and I watched the show and I'm like, he definitely did this, bro. Like there's no question in my mind that this dude is guilty. There's- It's
I'm gonna
good.
have to check that out. Have you checked out
Yes.
Alice in Borderland?
I love that show. I finally did.
Have you
I
seen
watched
both
yeah,
seasons?
I loved it. I told you I had to rewatch the second season finale. I had to watch it like 3 times because for one, I kept falling asleep. Not that it was bad. It's just like I was just tired. But and then like I watched it a third time because I was curious as to what I was actually seeing because I was like, maybe I got distracted and I'm like, is this what's happening? Is it real? Or, because it was kind of explaining everything.
It almost seems Matrix-like to
Okay.
me.
I see what you're saying.
That's what it almost
Okay.
seems like to me. But I wanted to ask you, with all the cards that were collected and shown and all the games that
hmm
were played, have you seen any aces? Have you ever seen any ace? I'm gonna have to go back
I,
and rewatch, but I don't
I
remember
don't
seeing
remember
any
seeing
ace
any
cards, any
aces. I
aces.
don't remember seeing any jokers. I know that those jokers is probably what's coming up. But no, I haven't seen an ace or a joker. I'm just seeing like face cards.
Because if not, I would have to assume with the third season coming up, because there is a
Yes.
third season, that they would have to play the ace cards to get to the
Mhm.
joker card.
Well, my thing is, what is the joker card going to consist of? Because the face
Oh,
cards are just unreal. The,
the heart
the
games
heart
are
games suck.
unreal. Because, dude,
Listen, I wouldn't want to
I
do
told
any of
you,
the games, but the heart games, those are the worst, bro. Because, like,
bro, when I first started watching Sweet Home and Alice in Borderland, and there were a couple of other shows, there were certain scenes because of how emotional they can be. And before, I'm not one to cry, but like some of these scenes were like, I was like, damn, man, I'm like fighting back tears. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, so much so that I asked my doctor to check my testosterone just because I was over 40. And I'm like, maybe the estrogen's kicking in. But the doc said the tea was good.
hmm
And I was like, well, I don't know how the fuck these movies are getting to me, or these shows, I should say. Because take the third episode of Alice in Borderland in the first season.
doozy.
That
Doozy.
heart game was
Doozy. I
Jesus.
felt like it wasn't even
Okay.
necessary, not to spoil anything for anyone. I just didn't think it was necessary.
If you haven't seen it,
It just
whatever.
wasn't necessary to do it
That
that
shit.
way. Like as a group, they should not have done it that. That's all I'm gonna say. They should not have. They shouldn't have done it that way, man. Like they just should not have done it that way.
And for that bitch to be like, oh, because you guys were so close, I set the game up that way. Like
Oh
right then and
yeah,
there, you would have had my hands wrapped
that
around your
was
fucking
yeah.
neck. Like
See, that's that. If I,
you had me watch my
yeah, that's
boys
what we
die,
talked about
bitch.
earlier. Disrespect, levels of disrespect. That's up there. That was a disrespectful
Ugh.
thing to say.
And then how I love I will say this about the second season. I was like, how long are they gonna subject us to this
Oh
naked dude?
yeah,
Like, why was
I
this
don't know.
necessary?
They kept showing it. Yeah.
Like, what about his character or role in that movie?
They should have blurred
just
it.
required
They should have
it for
blurred
him
his
to.
butt out. Like, nobody want to see that, man.
You know what I mean?
They want
Like,
to see
damn,
it.
dude.
Then ask for it. Then agree to it.
You know, they gave us gratuitous crotch shots with
Mhm.
Blade Runner. But, you know, I want to see her ass crack. Why you showing me
Yeah.
this dude's ass crack? Let me see her ass crack. But nah, you want to show me some dudes for what? For what? Why?
It didn't seem necessary though.
And I mean, and it was just completely unnecessary for him to be
I
naked.
mean, I understand what he was saying though, you know. Hey man, was supposed to be this way. I get it. But like they could have just stopped showing it though. It could have been implied nudity. It didn't have to be like so literal. Like you didn't have to show it. You could have been like, oh, this dude's naked. That's crazy. Let's keep going.
And man, that the way Blade Runner got done, bro. Oh my god, that hurt my heart,
I loved
bro.
it.
Cause she was.
I loved it though.
Gangster.
I love how she got done.
All right.
I loved every second of that.
Oh,
Nah, man, because she wanted to kill old girl, man. She just, what's her name?
Who?
Yeah,
Usagi?
she just wanted.
Look,
she wanted to save Arasu, and that's not how that worked. They're a tandem.
She just wanted Arasu's
I
ting-ting,
understand
buddy.
that.
All right,
but
that's
that
what she
belongs
wanted.
to Usagi. So,
well, look, Usagi wasn't making any moves. She's out there playing games.
Saving lives.
Like literally,
so they're saving that little boy.
You know,
that why is he here? Like that's the question I need answered. Like the only kid I've seen the whole time. What's that about? That's crazy.
Yeah, and all of a sudden he's just now showing up. And like, hold up, and why do you care?
I
don't
know if I care
bro,
either.
In those times,
I don't think I would care either if I'm keeping it a buck. I don't know.
And in that particular situation, I'm like, hey girl, we don't know how much longer we got. You know, let me just give you the best 3.5 minutes of your life before things end. You know, I don't mind getting lazed in the head. Those games, too much, man.
I can play a few of them.
And they didn't show any marijuana till much later on. So it's like, what am I going to do for my anxiety, bro? You trying to kill me? You want me to play these games?
I wouldn't mind. Now, what was it? The King of Spades? Or was it the King of, it was the Spades.
That dude was fucking everybody up.
The kind of stuff you can't do nothing with him. Because for one, he just wouldn't die right away. And like, he's out here gunning people down random. Like, there's not much you can do with him.
He took bullets and arrows.
Now, like,
I'm like, what the fuck is this dude?
Would be kind of tough. Yeah, I think every game, the first game in the rooms, like Arasu, man, being like a brain.
I would have never figured that out.
You need somebody in the crew that like plays mad games that can like figure out puzzles.
And now ask yourself this: knowing who we know,
who's our Arasu?
Mm-hmm.
We're done.
Definitely isn't me.
That's what I knew. Oh, we're done. Because I don't know games like that either.
Like I say this, I'll probably be like Karube, maybe. And on a sensitive day, maybe Shota, but for the most part, Karube. But
he's like
no
Arasu. People out with one punch, man. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. That's a great show, though, man. It's a great show.
Awesome show. I would recommend everyone to check it out.
We'll try not to spoil too much of it. Just little tidbits.
I mean, if you've been listening and you haven't seen it, well, spoiler alert. If it's too late, sorry.
It's all right.
But thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's been fun, man.
And we'll be talking to you guys soon, all right?